Hello everyone, welcome to the exciting world of aviation, airport and airlines. Let us understand what is aviation. Aviation is the art of designing, manufacturing and flying an airplane. An airport is a place where aircraft land and take off, where passengers are made to wait for their departure and arrival processing. An airline is simply a transport company that transport passengers along with their baggage, cargo and mail from point A to B. Now, the briefing is about the career opportunities for ground staff in the airline. Now, at the outset, let us say this ground staff is a non-technical cadre. You will not be asked to perform technical duties. So, the basic criteria for entering into the ground staff level is +2, your higher secondary or a degree. And a management in airport and airline management will also help. That is for the educational qualifications. And coming to the personal side, you should be well grouped and you should have excellent communication skills, because you are going to transact with the customers. The airline is going to trust you to handle their customers. They are not going to be there. You will be their face. As a ground staff, you are the face of the airline. So they will have to make sure that you fit the bill. So grooming, dressing and also good etiquettes. Grooming also means your soft skills, your interpersonal skills, all these things come into play. And having secured the job, you will be given a series of training for the ground operations. Every airline has got their own way of handling passengers. We call it as a quality policy, and each and every airline has got their own quality policy. Now, having said this, all the airlines perforce will have to comply with safety and security regulations, which is outlined by ICAO as well as DGCA. ICAO is International Civil Aviation Organization, which guides and regulates the safety of the airline operations throughout the world. And DGCA is our apex body in India, which guides the aviation sector in India. There is no other agency beyond DGCA for Indian aviation. Now, the perks of a ground staff is that you will be working at a place where, there are a lot of activities. You are going to see the best of the people there. Well, grooming means you will be given the airline apparel or the airline attire or airline uniform, and your hair should be firmly in place, not a hair out of place. Beard is a no-no. Even if you have a beard, it has to be well groomed. Normally, airlines do not allow beard. And dressing as per the airline standards. And conduct, first of all, will have to be impeccable. You will be dealing with the elite of the crowd. By elite, I mean the politicians, the film stars, or the cricketers. Supposing Virat Kohli comes in front and you don't want to look shabby, will you? Would you want to look shabby in front of Virat Kohli? No way, right? So that is the kind of crowd you will be dealing with in the airport. And the airline puts you there as their ambassador. You are the ambassador for the airline. You will be transacting their business. And they do not see you. Supposing you are Mr. Shankar. They are not going to see Shankar there. They are going to see an airline staff, whatever. If it is an Indigo, they are going to see an Indigo staff. They are not going to say that I saw Shankar. Okay, so that's for the grooming. And as for the perks of the job for an entry level is well paid. And the most important perk of an airline employee is that you get free passes to travel, not only for you, for your family members too. You get free passes, you can travel around the globe or wherever your flight to the ground. After checking in the passenger, the baggage will be tagged, and the counterfoil of the baggage tag will be given to the passenger, who will give it on arrival to the ground staff to collect his baggage, just to make sure that the baggage is not exchanged, your baggage is not carried by someone else. So after the counter activities, the passenger will be guided to immigration and customs, where you will have the presence of the ground staff. The customer service executive will be present in those areas as well to guide the passengers. As you know, immigration and customs are governmental regulations. Even health requirements are under the government control. So you have to comply with those things. As a ground staff, you should know what a passport is, what a visa is, what is the expiry date, where you can find it, what is the visa, what is the visa expiry date, how long the visa is valid, from what date it is valid, what is the last day, what happens if a passenger overstays. So all these aspects will be ingrained into you through your training. They do impart very quality training for your travel documents. We call it as frontier formalities. So as a ground staff, you should also know the passports, visa and health requirements of countries. And after this comes the boarding gate. The boarding gate is a place where passengers will be guided to the aircraft by the airline staff. The boarding has got a process. The boarding process will be done with the help of the computer system. Supposing you have 100 passengers on the flight and only 98 passengers have boarded. So you have 2 more passengers to board. So as a customer executive, you will have to look for these passengers, make announcement, try to page them. And if these people don't turn up, what happens? Airline will not delay the flight for any passenger. So you will have to make arrangements to deboard these passengers. You will have to close the gate at one particular time. If you don't close the gate, your flight is not going to depart on time. Number 1 criteria for airline operation is on-time performance. Apart from safety and security. Safety and security comes first and then on-time performance. Now if you are going to wait for these 2 passengers, your flight is going to get delayed. And if these passengers have got checked-in baggages, the baggage has to be removed from the aircraft for security reasons. You cannot carry a baggage of a passenger who is not on board. It's a very, very stringent security regulation which has to be followed by the airline. If a passenger does not board and he has got a baggage, you have to offer the baggage. And this will be done by the ground staff working at the if you are at the boarding gate, you will have to inform the ramp team. The ramp team works near the aircraft and they will have to locate this baggage through the baggage tag that is attached at the counters. So you will see the baggage tag number, identify the baggage, remove the baggage and then only you release the flight. This is a very, very strict security regulation which has to be followed. Any violation will be viewed very, very seriously. Even the airline may lose their license for violation. Very strong. And this about sums up the arrival activities. This is for the departure. What I have said so far is for the departures. For the arrivals, and arriving passengers will be first deplaned. This will happen at the ramp activity. When a flight comes, let us say a flight comes from Dubai to Chennai. Dubai to Chennai passengers will have to get down at Chennai, right? So once the flight lands, the passengers will be deplaned and they will be brought to the terminal. And the passengers will have to clear immigration, customs and health requirements as well. Right now there are no health requirements strictly for India because the endemic is almost over. So in the days of COVID, you had lots of issues with the health. People without RT-PCR were not allowed. So all these things will happen and the customer service agent will have to be present. In the arrival area, you will face another challenge, which is that regarding the baggage. Every airline spends a lot of money on the issue of baggage. Baggage can be a real problem for the airlines. Baggage has got a problem of losing itself. A passenger arrives at Chennai, his baggage has not come. His baggage would have been flown somewhere else. Instead of coming to Dubai to Chennai, it would have gone Dubai to Bombay. The baggage may be at Bombay. So the passenger do not find his baggage here, he is going to make a complaint. And the baggage, in case the passenger receives the baggage and his baggage is torn or damaged by the airline, so he is going to ask you for compensation. So you should know the rules regarding the baggage acceptance, baggage compensation, delayed baggage compensation, damaged baggage compensation. There are some rare cases where passengers' baggages have been lost. So lost baggage compensation will also have to be provided. So arrival services, you will have a baggage cell in the arrival hall. Again, baggage cell is monitored by ground staff. Your customer service executive will be working there, monitoring the lost baggage or damaged baggage or misplaced baggage. We call it as a mishandled baggage. So that will be the arrival services. And then the most important and very thrilling experience for a ground staff will be to work near the aircraft, right? Working near the aircraft is what draws everybody to the airline industry. So just see the aircraft in all its glory. It's a sight in itself. So once the flight comes, the passengers will have to be deplaned, and the flight that is flown from Dubai to Chennai will have to be serviced here on ground at Chennai. It immediately just cannot take off for the next destination. The aircraft will have to undergo a series of maintenance activities. Apart from maintenance, there are other regular activities like you have to deplane the passengers, the incoming load of passengers, the baggage, cargo, mail will have to be offloaded, and then the aircraft cabin will have to be cleaned, the lavatories will have to be cleaned, the incoming catering items, the leftover food and other things. The cabin will be a mess. Dubai to Chennai is a full service flight which flies for about 4 hours, 4.5 hours. So in this time you can imagine the condition of the cabin. The cabin will be really devastated, and the cabin has to be cleaned or rearranged. The catering will have to be loaded, lavatories have to be cleaned up, stocked up with toilet items and all those things. So we call this above the wing activities in the cabin. And then down below the aircraft, the baggage will be offloaded and the aircraft will be serviced with other mechanical items like we have certain water cart services where you need water for the toilet, for the baggage, for the cabin crew to serve food and other things. Water cart services, then ground power unit, when the aircraft is on ground, the aircraft needs power operating their equipments, the electronic and electrical installations that are there in the aircraft. For example, galley power, you need oven. Oven needs power, so that's electrical. And then for the monitoring of fuel and other things, you have electronic monitors. So you need power for all these things. So ground power has to be given. So these are all part of the ground activities, but these are all non-technical only, as I said. This is not going to be technical. Will be for the other. We have engineering department, ground support department, where people with proper science degrees will be doing the maintenance work and other things. So this about sums up the ground activities of a staff. And while doing this duty, you will have to keep in mind that safety and security is of utmost importance in aviation. Only after that your airline policy comes into play. There is no compromise in safety and security. These are some of the functions of the ground staff of an airline. Apart from this, airlines also recruit security officers as a ground staff. People who have had exposure to NCC, National Cadet Corps and all these things, they are preferred for these jobs. Their job will be to protect the airline and the airline's property. They will be in charge of screening the baggage, being there at the baggage sorting area, so that the baggage is not pilfered, to offer safety to the baggages. Because pilferage is one area where airline lose a lot of money. Pilferage happens from the baggage.